Guys, my microphone wasn't connected. Very yucky, very yucky. Hi guys, how's it going? Can you hear me well at all? I'm kind of far from my mic, so I'm scared. Let me know if everything audio-wise is fine. How dare that microphone? I know. Shakes my fist at the sky. I have a really awkward setup right now because I have my book stand thingy and it's like a giant slab with these little grabby things, so I can grab your book and hold it down, and then and then my phone is sitting on it, but it's also being held up by, it was a little quiet, but then I realized my volume was almost 0. Oh, okay. But yeah, my phone is being propped up half by the book holder and half by a squishy that I own. So it looks really goofy right now. But yeah, let me know if my mic is quiet or if my music is too loud or whatever. But today we're going to be reading The Fish Danmei. The Fish Danmei. I obviously encourage everybody. I need to be louder. Okay, I'll put it up because I don't think I can afford to be much louder because it's kind of early in the day and nobody's asleep. I don't want them to be like, what is that freak doing? You know what I mean? Is this any better? That's my eyelashes. But yeah, I obviously encourage. What banger music is this? I just switched the track. It's still Stream Cafe. It's in the description. I felt like Fish Danmei warranted a new track for us to listen to while I read. And also the last one just kept making me think about The Sims 4, and I didn't want to be thinking about that, so. T. Turn your music down a little so you sound louder. Okay. Is that better? I still want you to be able to hear the music, but you know, I want you to be able to hear me too. What do you think about it now? It does a little twirl. A little up on music? Okay. Like that? Looks around nervously. Is that good? Perfect? Okay. Yay! Okay. If I was a perfect streamer, I would have the, what do you call it? The chapter numbers on the side, so you guys can properly read along and everyone who comes in can be like, oh, that's the chapter number that we're on, you know, what did I miss? Or, oh, we're on another chapter. Guys. I can't even reach my keyboard right now because my book stand is in the way. Do you really think that I can do all that? I wanted to set it up. I did think about it, but I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want to. So if anyone has any questions about what the heck chapter we're on, what's going on, you can just ask me and I'll try to explain. But I'm gonna be real, it's kind of a you had to be there type of thing, because yeah, hopefully I'm gonna be able to keep the VOD up. If I can't, oh well, I guess, but I will try my best to be able to keep it up. Okay. since everything's good now, I think, do you guys want to get started with the book? Question mark looks at you guys with big bubble eyes. I'm so excited, guys. I was literally thinking about this stream all week. I planned it. Let's get started, right? Yeah, I planned it like since Monday, I think. I don't really know, but I've literally been thinking about it all week, and it was supposed to be on Friday, but then I was like, honestly, I just want to stream it today. And I had the opportunity, so anyway, let's get started. Rubs my hands together maliciously. He really would, yeah. Okay. Oh wait, I have my tactical ginger chew with me, just in case my voice starts... Oh my god, sorry. Just in case my voice starts screwing me over, I just hiccuped. If you guys hear dogs in the background, no you don't. No you don't, okay. Those dogs aren't mine, just so you know, but if you hear them, that's not a dog. You know those videos that are like, if you hear a whistle in the Appalachian Mountains, that's not a dog. Like, that's how I feel like telling you guys right now. I'm like, if you guys hear barking in a Kize Shu stream, that's not a dog. Oh my god. I'm kind of worried that my audio is too loud now. I don't know. Anyways. I'm gonna start yapping for real now. I'm gonna read. Let's get into it, boys. Okay. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be a Kize video or stream without the cracking my neck every so often. Okay. So, chapter 1. It's called The Fish in the Soup. Okay. Li Yu floated on the surface of the freezing cold water, utterly motionless. He could vaguely hear the muffled noises of people moving about from somewhere above his head, but it was difficult to make out anything clearly. It was a little noisy though, so he flipped over and opened his eyes. His entire body felt wet. After the initial shock, I got distracted. I need to help Kize with his mascot so you guys can make mascots too. Guys. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely not in a rush to get anything done for my channel, but you know, if you want to brainstorm ideas for a mascot, I will not stop you. Like, I do appreciate the help. Did you turn yourself down? Your music needs a little lowering. I did not turn myself down. I think I just started talking quietly. Because I'm like trying to talk a little loudly now. Low key. Whenever I talk to you guys, but when I start reading, I think I go back to my normal voice and I stop like projecting. Shivers a little bit. Hey guys, so can you tell that I'm nervous? Whoa, how'd you know? That's crazy. I don't want to turn my mic up any higher. I mean, I can just a little bit just for the reading. But I'm like really worried that my mic is too loud. Turn your music down a bit then. I don't want you to like not be able to hear the music though. What about this? Anyway. Okay. I'm gonna get back to the reading and you guys tell me if I still sound really quiet. Okay? Smiley face? Anyway. When you read it overpowers your voice. Yeah, I had a feeling. But let's see how it is now. If it's still bad, I'll try turning it up again, but whatever. Anyway. After the initial shock, his mind gradually began to clear. With dawning terror, he realized he was surrounded by water. That was impossible. Hadn't he fallen asleep after staying up late reading web novels? Web novels? Wow. What the heck even is a web novel, guys? What's going on? Hadn't he fallen asleep after staying up late reading web novels? When did he fall into water? More importantly, he couldn't even swim. Liu flailed his limbs wildly. As he struggled, he felt something on his back move. It's the same volume as your voice. I sigh so loudly, guys. Is that fine? I just feel like it's so quiet. But I'm like literally yelling. So maybe I'm just like a naturally quiet person. Cause guys, every time somebody talks to me in person, I'm so quiet and they're like, huh? And I'm like, bro, I was literally yelling. Meanwhile, I was just talking like, hi. Like, that's how loud I was talking. That should be good. I think it lets you read better. Dude, I don't know. I shiver a little bit. You know what? You know what? I might just restart from the top because I was still having mic issues and now I'm like kind of mad. I'm kind of mad. I want a perfect run. Okay, I'm your immediate IT support. Thanks, man. Anyway. From the top. Ew. Okay. Liu floated on the surface of the freezing cold water, utterly motionless. He could vaguely hear the muffled noises of people moving about from somewhere above his head, but it was difficult to make out anything clearly. It was a little noisy though, so he flipped over and opened his eyes. His entire body felt wet. After the initial shock, his mind gradually began to clear. With dawning terror, he realized he was surrounded by water. That was impossible. Hadn't he fallen asleep after staying up late reading web novels? When did he fall into water? More importantly, he couldn't even swim. Liu flailed his limbs wildly. As he struggled, he felt something on his back move. In the past, whenever he fell into water, the only fate that awaited him was sinking to the bottom. What the heck? Bro has no air in his lungs. Anyway. But to his surprise this time, he found he didn't plunge straight down. Instead, he was staying afloat, as if an invisible hand were holding him up. That's your swim bladder! Yippee! We love fish anatomy. And the surreal, impossible to ignore rhythm behind him. What was that? Liu peeked back at himself and startled. He'd always been proud of his long, slender legs, but now they were gone. In their place, a silvery, glistening fishtail appeared, swishing vigorously through the water, from side to side, up and down. Turn the page. I'm sorry, I had to do that at least once. It was funny. I mean, actually, not really, but pretend to laugh, okay? You better laugh. Anyway, it was, for the people who don't know what I'm talking about, the freaking mama character from, what the heck was that game? Tattletale. She like reads you a, what the heck? She reads you a little story about her children, and then she goes, turn the page. Ew, not me over-explaining my joke. Oh, where did my camera go? I'm scared. Anyway. So, well, that must be why he hadn't sunk. Liu was speechless. What was going on? How did his legs turn into a fishtail? Was he dreaming? Dreaming about turning into a mermaid? As girly as it sounded, a mermaid was the only possibility Liu could think of, where a human had a fishtail. No, he wasn't talking about the ugly yet cute Gudong from the animal world. Oh wait, Gugong, not Gudong, oops. From the animal world, it was the ethereal, half-human, half-fish mermaid, with long, flowing hair, a beautiful complexion, and a heavenly voice. Kizzy, why are you mansplaining? I'm sorry. It's in my manly nature. It's like trying to find where I left off. Everyone knew mermaids didn't exist in real life, so the only logical conclusion was that this was all a dream. And since it was a dream, he saw no problem with admiring his own beauty as a mermaid. Liu glanced around, searching for a mirror or anything with a reflection that could show his appearance. As he moved, he kept swishing his tail back and forth vigorously. It was actually kind of nice to have a tail to wave around as he pleased. Unfortunately, this dream wasn't really going exactly as planned. There was no mirror in the water. Liu flipped over and, from force of habit, reached for his forehead to flick his bangs. Except this led to another problem. Liu quickly realized that no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't reach his own forehead. What was wrong with his hand? Had his arm become shorter somehow? Liu looked down in confusion. That was when he realized his hands, with their distinct joints, had been replaced with a pair of constantly paddling fish fins that were, well, the exact shape and texture of a fish's fins. If his legs had turned into a tail and his hands had turned into fins, then Liu hurried around to look at himself. Wait. When did his stomach turn flat and slim, like you'd normally only see on a fish? Not only did he have a long, slender belly, but he was also covered in silvery black fish scales. Holy shit! Liu took a deep breath, and a few bubbles actually came floating out. There, reflected on the bubble's surface, he could see it clearly. His entire body had turned into a fish. Fish head, fish belly, fish scales. He was no mermaid. He was a proper carp. Fear slammed into Liu so hard he froze, momentarily forgetting to swish his tail. Immediately, he began to sink. By the way, guys, the funny thing about his name is that it's pronounced the same as the word carp in Chinese. So, that must be a coincidence, right? Anyway. Fear slammed into Liu so hard he froze, momentarily forgetting to swish his tail. Immediately, he began to sink. Ah! He was gonna drown! He was gonna drown! Just as he was about to crash into a black rock at the bottom, Liu used both his tail and fins to paddle frantically, managing to stop himself before he collided with the rock. Unfortunately, his tail wasn't so lucky. Liu winced. That really hurt. The fishtail wasn't just some decoration. He'd only hit it once, but Liu was in so much pain he spat out a long trail of variously sized bubbles. He's fulfilling his destiny. Yeah. What was up with that? That hurt more than cutting into his leg with a knife. How could the pain be so real in a dream? Liu's eyes widened slightly. No way. Was this not actually a dream? He had really been turned into a fish, and not just any fish, but the most basic kind of carp? Where exactly what the for? Where exactly was he? How did he transform? There was no way he was turned into a carp just because his name was Liu, right? And most importantly, was there a way for him to change back? An entire herd of what the fucks stampeded through Liu's mind before he had the chance to fully grasp his... Guys, I'm gonna shart my pants. Before he had the chance to fully grasp the situation at hand, he heard someone speak. A high, reedy voice rang out. Oh my god. Guys, I don't want to do voices, but I'm gonna have to, aren't I? No, don't shart. I'm gonna shart, dude. I'm freaking it. Scratches my neck. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna shart. I'm gonna shart for real. Okay. A high, reedy voice rang out. Xiaolinzi, we're still missing a live fish for the noble consort's 1,000 carp soup. Another voice immediately responded. Cao Gonggong, this fish flipped over just now. The birthday banquet is an important matter, and this servant doesn't dare present it to the noble consort, so I was about to throw it away. Should I go get another? Liu was alarmed. He had been secretly celebrating the discovery that there were other people around him, but what was with all the noble consort and Gonggong stuff? Did he transmigrate into a historical palace fish? And what the hell was the 1,000 carp soup? Before he could figure it out, a light shone right into the water above Liu's head, splitting the dark in two. From that beam of light, a terrifyingly sized hand reached in. Liu almost passed out on the spot. This hand was way too big. But after some careful consideration, he realized, of course it was. He was an ordinary little fish now. Obviously, a human hand would be colossal to a fish. Every instinct inside Liu screamed that he was in danger. He couldn't help swimming all over the place. Without a moment's hesitation, the hand reached into the water, fingers outstretched, and clasped around Liu, who was bumbling around like a headless fly. Now that he was a fish, Liu had no neck, so the hand covered most of his body. Liu yelped and struggled fiercely, his hand flapping violently. It was even more painful than hitting his tail just now. How could you grab a fish's chest and stomach? It hurts! But the person couldn't hear the fish's cries and just chuckled. This fish is certainly lively. What do you mean it flipped over? Xiaolinzi, you didn't say that just so you could take this fish for yourself, did you? With all the ruckus around him, Liu's world was spinning, but he managed to catch a glimpse of the place he had been in before. A fish back. Oh my god. Sorry. I got a message on a social media app. Audrey wants to be your friend. If Audrey's watching this, I'm so sorry for outing you, but I thought it was really funny that you just had to happen to add me on stream. Audrey. My alpha. Oh my god. Okay. Where the heck did I leave off? This stream is literally gonna be full of me being like, haha, so funny. Anyways, where the heck was I? When I get distracted for 1 second, it's gone. My place is gone. Okay. With all the ruckus around him, Liu's world was spinning, but he managed to catch a glimpse of the place he had been in before, a fish basket. Ensnared in the person's hand, he was lifted to meet their gaze. Liu's fish eyes took in— oh my god. Sorry, I thought my model freaked out for a second. Took in two people dressed like palace servants from ancient times. The one holding him was Gao Gongong. He wasn't very tall, and he looked like a round white dough ball. I feel like that was different in the fan translation, but I can't explain how. I don't know why it feels different, but I'm just gonna keep going. Next to him, Xiaolinzi looked like a little flax stem. Xiaolinzi hurried to kiss up to Gao Gongong. He smiled and said, Gao Gongong, this servant would never dare take advantage with you overseeing everything. My eyes must have been playing tricks on me before. It's simply a misunderstanding. Since this fish is still alive, this servant will go and prepare the fish soup immediately. Liu, who was being held by Gao Gongong, immediately became agitated. What? What? Fish soup? Thousand carp soup might have been a complete mystery to him just a moment ago, but the concept of fish soup was definitely something he understood deep within his bones. He was a fish right now, and they were about to turn him into soup. Squeezing me is one thing, but turning me into soup is where I draw the line. Originally, Gao Gongong had only visited the imperial kitchen to scold Xiaolinzi a little. Now that that was done, he was planning on leaving the fish for Xiaolinzi to deal with. Liu had lain quiet and still in Gao Gongong's grip for some time, but now that soup was on the menu, he mustered all his strength to struggle free. The fish was slippery. In the split second that Gao Gongong loosened his grip, Liu managed to get free and fling himself into the air. Hi! Hi, Audrey! I take a second to stretch. Okay. Crosses my arms like the Mona Lisa. Or more like hands. Anyway. I was actually doing that in real life, by the way. I was just narrating what I was doing. Continuing on. Liu, still thrashing around as he flew through the air, leaving a long trail of water behind him, was terrified. What was he gonna do? He was gonna die! He was gonna die! Was he still gonna be made into soup if he died? Sob, sob, sob. He still hadn't figured out how exactly he had transmigrated into a fish in the first place. He didn't want to die. What if it stuck this time? Liu soared toward Xiaolinzi, completely out of control. Xiaolinzi reached out to grab him, but the fish was too slippery and he couldn't get a firm hold of him. Liu was seconds away from splatting onto the floor when a long meow came from outside, and a streak of snowy white fur bounded in. Just before Liu's tail hit the ground, the white figure caught him firmly in its mouth. Liu didn't even have the time to celebrate his close call before his scales were standing straight up all over his body. Holy crap. This shape, this sound. Was this a fucking large white cat? He'd managed to escape from the hand of a human, only to land directly in the mouth of a cat? How was he supposed to survive a cat's mouth? Liu had never been afraid of cats before, but now that he was a fish, he was scared to death. Cats' tongues were covered in spikes. If it licked him, it would take a chunk. Would it take a chunk of him with it? Honestly, I'm thinking about it. Maybe? I'm like, the most it would do is remove a few scales. Maybe. I don't know. Chuaning? Half joking. What Chuaning? Oh, the cat? No, not this cat. Oh my gosh, guys. I love Urha so much, you don't understand. I've been bringing up Urha was a mistake because, guys, if it were up to me, listen to me, guys. If it were up to me, we would be reading Urha right now. Oh my god, it's my favorite book ever. But I'm gonna be so real with you. I'm gonna hold your hand. I don't think you guys are ready for that. And honestly, I'm gonna have to skip so many scenes because there's so many not safe for work scenes that I'm just like, no. But Urha is literally my favorite book of all time. I love it so bad. Now, I would not recommend Urha to any first-time Danmei user ever, because I do not want you to think that all Danmei has that kind of stuff in it. It really doesn't. Mipun is just an insane writer. I love that girl. I love that bun. I love that little bow. I love her. But yeah. I'm like, I have so many of her books. This is not one of her books. This is by a different author. But Mipun is genuinely my favorite Danmei writer ever. I love her so bad. I need to study her in a lab. I love her brain so much. Oh my god. Dude, the other day I was getting so emotional that all of the English printing for Urha is about to be fully finished. Because the cover for book 11, which is the last book, got revealed, and oh my god, like, I'm gonna throw up! Oh my god! That is like one of my limited edition must-haves. Like, I need the limited edition version. I'm like, I don't care. I have the limited edition version for a lot of Danmei already, but like, dude, I need it for Urha. I need it. Shakes my fist. I need it so bad. I love Urha so much. Honestly, if the day comes and a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to read Urha after reading the list of trigger warnings because I want you guys to know what you're getting the freak into. If any of those things sound particularly really triggering for you and you're like, ooh, I do not want to be read a book that has that stuff in it, just skip the stream, bro. Skip the stream. You can come to another one, but you're better off skipping it. But yeah. TBH, if it were up to me, we'd be reading it right now. I love it so bad. But this is like, honestly, my second favorite Danmei. I love this one so bad, I actually cried when I finished reading it because I was like, no, it's over, no! It was so good. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop yapping. I'll get back to reading. Okay. He was completely paralyzed by fear. The cat was gonna eat him. He'd be just a pile of fish bones. Being turned into soup wasn't sounding so bad anymore. The large white cat that had appeared out of nowhere ignored Gao Gonggong and Xiaolinzi and sprinted out with the fish in its mouth. It all happened way too fast. It took Xiaolinzi a moment to react. Yeah, malicious. I was like, you probably did that on purpose, mentioning Urha just so I talk about it. I love that book so bad. Anyway. Gao Gonggong, the cat has taken the fish! This sturdy, fat white cat looked a little familiar. With the start, Gao Gonggong realized who it was and kicked Xiaolinzi. What are you dawdling for? Can't you see that's the noble consort's cat? Xiaolinze, hurry and follow it. Don't let the precious master cat choke on a fishbone, otherwise the noble consort will never forgive us. After all, they changed her title. So just a thing. I read this as like a different translation. I read the fan translation, so a lot of the titles and phrases were closer to the original book, which was originally in Chinese. So I'm reading like the official English translation right now. So I'm like, that more so focuses on equating things like into English and not just like throwing you into China and expecting you to get everything. And I'm just like, I want to be thrown into China. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll stop nitpicking. Anyway. Okay. After all, the cat of our master is also half a master. Yes, sir. There was a tinge of bitterness in Xiaolinze's voice. You couldn't afford to offend even a cat master these days. Liu was clamped between the white cat's jaws, and Xiaolinze chased after them. Originally, he had hoped Gao Gonggong and Xiaolinze would pull him out of the cat's mouth, since he was, after all, an ingredient for the fish soup. That made him more or less useful. But hearing what they were saying now, it turned out they didn't care about the fish at all, and had no plans to save him. They were more concerned the cat might choke on his bones? How fickle! These guys sure knew how to wait and see which way the wind blew. As infuriated as Liu was, there was nothing he could do about his situation. All he could do was use every ounce of energy he had left to try and slip out of the cat's mouth. Also, by the way, guys, if I pronounce literally anything wrong, you guys can yell at me. You guys can yell at me and help me pronounce it better, because, like, I'm like, of course some of the names are gonna sound off, because I'm already reading in English, so it's kind of hard to, like, code switch. You know what I mean? When you're really reading like a really Chinese name and then you have to switch back to English immediately, like it's gonna be a little hard period because I'm reading in English, but I try my best. But like if I really butcher a pronunciation, like just be like, ew, Kize, that's not how you say that, and I'll be like, dang, my bad. You're pro. I don't know about that. Anyway. Anyway, as infuriated as Liu was, there was nothing he could do about his situation. All he could do was use every ounce of energy he had left to try and slip out of the cat's mouth. But the white cat was not the ambitious yet incompetent Gao Gonggong, nor did it have the habit of eating and running at the same time. It held Liu delicately in its sharp teeth. You'd probably do better than me. Oh. Oh. Liu wiggled around, but its jaws didn't even loosen. On the contrary, they tightened around him. Liu didn't dare move anymore. He lay quietly in the cat's mouth, the tip of his tail quivering uncontrollably. This was way too scary. Liu couldn't help screaming, "Help! Someone save me!" It didn't matter who. Whoever it was, he'd do anything they wanted in his next life as long as they freed him from this cat's mouth. Oh, we have the artwork in the book, but you guys can't see it because you guys don't have the book. Haha. Nah. I'm just kidding. But if you guys do want to see the interior artworks, I encourage you to consider buying the either like physical or digital versions. I don't know if the digital versions come with the illustrations, but they might. I've never bought a digital version. I don't know. But honestly, I really highly recommend buying the physical books because honestly, it's just nice to have physical books. And second, the interior artworks are so cute. They are online for people to see because people take photos of them, duh. But like, guys, if you want to see it, I do encourage you to buy the books. Smiley face. Anyway. But no human heard the fish, and neither did the cat. The white cat trotted on, unencumbered. Countless people saw it pass. Sorry, I had to be like, what the freak was that? Countless people saw it pass. Oops. My phone's telling me that it's on low battery. Hold on. Sharp myself a little bit. Yeah, guys, I'm like the king of not being prepared ever. I never charge my phone before streams because, yeah, why would I, you know? It's not like I need to use it to track my model or anything. It's blasphemy, you know? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's a mess. Oh my god. Someone help me. I got it. No sharding for free. What the heck? Let me shard. Okay. I think we're good now. I'm gonna be looking. You're like my sister. She hardly charges her phone at night. I charge my phone at night, but I use it so much in the day that it just dies. She's in the battle of the phone battery. Dude, literally. I'm like, every time, by the time I have to do a stream or a recording, my phone is just dead. And I'm like, well, that's awkward. Well, I'm just gonna look like I'm kind of looking up for a while because my phone is at an awkward angle. Guys, I don't like it. I want to try and fix it, but I'm really fighting for my life right now. Oh. Oh my god. I mean, I guess this is slightly better, maybe. I don't know. I'm so scared. That's why I'm almost always charging my phone. Yeah, I should be, but I don't, so. Hee hee. Anyway. It was exactly like Gao Gonggong had said. The cat of our master is also half a master. While Liu's screams were going unheard, the white cat dug its claws into the floor tiles, skidding to an abrupt stop. Liu flinched as he felt the cat's teeth tighten around him. The white cat's shining eyes glared at whatever was in front of it, a warning growl emanating from— oh, sorry, just making up what isn't there. A warning growl rumbling from its throat as if it were facing a formidable enemy. Detecting this shift in the white cat's attitude, Liu quickly looked to see why. A young man with a tall, upright figure, draped in resplendent, luxurious robes, appeared in his field of vision. Like a god descending upon the earth, he blocked the great white cat's path. Wow. And yeah, they have a little artwork here depicting that, but you guys don't get to see it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not gonna show you still, but anyway, yay, we finished chapter 1. Yay, yay, yippee, yippee. Imagine if, all right, guys, that's it for today's stream. Bye. Like, yeah, I only do one chapter. I'm honestly, nor show the yaoi. No, you have to buy the book if you want the yaoi. I'm gonna try and go for as long as my voice lasts. I know that's a bad idea, but like, I like to read. Anyway, does a little twirl. For everybody, I'm just summarizing the chapter, I guess, because I don't think Alex was here when I started reading. You did not miss much, though. God, I wish you had a hand can set up. Do I look like I have 8 octopus arms right now? Kize, why are you hoarding all the yaoi? Because that's my job as the yaoi hoarder. It would eat. Oh my god, guys. Side-eyeing you. Anyway. Yeah, I'm like a dragon. I hoard all the yaoi. It's all mine. Okay. Me thinks it's time for chapter 2. Me thinks it's time for chapter 2. Wait, I was gonna summarize it and then I completely forgot. I'm just saying imagine, well, I'm imagining how much of a hassle it would be to set it up, so I'm not liking what I'm thinking about. The page turning so cute. I don't know, you guys can hear that. I mean, it is kind of closer to the mic than I am, but anyway. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll summarize it. Basically, what happened was Liu woke up and he was like, oh my god, where are my legs? And then he was like, oh my god, I have a tail. Maybe I'm a mermaid. Tucks hair behind ear. And then he realizes that he has fins and he's like, no, Cleo, I'm not a mermaid. I'm a fish. And then he realizes that they're gonna cook him in a fish soup, and he's like, no. So then he literally tries to fly away. And then before he lands, a cat grabs him and runs with him. And that's where we're at right now. And then a mysterious man comes up, obviously. We just read that, though. No, I mean if you had a hand cam. You just want to see my hands, bro. Let's be real. I'm not doing that for free. Okay. Rubs my hands together like a fly. Oh my god, I just hiccuped. Start sweating. Audrey, me when I get caught by a cat. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I got the hiccups, bro. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. No, you wear gloves for a stream. Does it look like I want to wear gloves for like an hour and a half? I don't care. I'd show my hands. I just like... I don't see the point. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not being a hater, but I'm like... I don't get it. Anyways, chapter 2. The fish in the cat's mouth. Liu was delighted. So there was someone who didn't kiss up to Master Cat. If a cat's intellect could be compared to that of a 2-year-old, then this large white cat was a spoiled child. Actually, is it 2 or 4 years old that they say are cats? I don't know. But they do say that all cats are autistic, so that's fun. No one had ever denied it anything. It had always gotten anything and everything it wanted. How dare this person presume to stand in the cat's way when it had a fish in its mouth? The white cat spun on the spot a couple of times, deciding it would demonstrate just who the real master was here. With the fish held firmly in its jaws, it pounced on the young man's shins. Thwack! The white cat pounced so hard that, even trapped inside its mouth, Liu could feel its muscles tense up. But its target didn't even flinch. Yowling, the cat bounced off the young man's firm legs. Liu felt its jaws loosen around him with a rush. Oh my god. What the hell? I'm like struggling with my pace of reading. I'm sorry. Liu felt its jaws loosen around him with a rush of elation and rolled out of its mouth onto the floor. If I mess up one more time, I'm turning the stream off. I've had enough. Luckily, Master Cat wasn't very far from the ground, so the impact wasn't too harsh. The white cat froze, letting out a meow. It readied itself to recapture its prey. I'm not meowing on stream. I'm not doing that. Not for free, not for free. Liu had only just managed to escape the cat's mouth. How could he let it snatch him up again? Desperate, he flapped his tail wildly and leaped into the air, only to leap so far that his tail slapped the cat right in the mouth with a resounding smack. Do it. I'm not meowing on stream. No, sir. No, sir. I'll do it for $5, but not unless you give me $5. Anyway, Liu was speechless. So was the white cat. No way. All he wanted was to escape. How did he manage to accidentally slap the cat instead? If fish could sweat, Liu would have been sweating bullets. As a fish that dared to slap a cat in the face, wasn't he asking to be eaten immediately? With its fur standing on end from the sudden slap, the white cat raised one heavy paw and pressed it down on Liu's body. I love when cats do that. It's the funniest thing. I'm buying you water park sim? Only $5. Bro, listen, I'm a small creator. I'll take what I can get. I'm buying you what? So is this you asking me to meow because I'm buying you water park sim? No, sir. Okay. I'm like, I thought the agreement was that you buy me water park sim and I play a Five Nights at Freddy's game. Which, by the way, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Listen guys, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. I love horror games. I genuinely do. I love watching people play them. But it is an entirely different experience watching somebody play something terrifying and actually playing it yourself. I'm the biggest baby there ever is when it comes to actually playing horror games myself. Oh my god. The one horror game I've ever played by myself is mouthwashing. And I do not think that game is scary. But I was sweating my booty cheeks off, bro. And if I was freaking out that much by playing just mouthwashing, can you imagine the amount of fear I would feel playing Five Nights at Freddy's? And I also don't think Five Nights at Freddy's is scary, but I didn't think mouthwashing was scary, and I was sharding my pants. So I think I'm a bigger baby than you. I don't like any form of horror. I like video game horror because I like seeing other people play it, because it brings like a sense of community, like we can be scared together. I'm not a big fan of horror movies because the plots are often ass, and like, yeah, sure, it's scary, but only because they have like cheap ass jump scares. It's like horror movies think that they can only be scary if it's like a cheap jump scare or gore, and it's like, that's not what horror is. Oh my god. Ugh, whatever. I would say I really like horror. I'm a big fan of horror. Like, I grew up watching people play Franbo. Just grew up to love horror. Like, watched Let's Players play Five Nights at Freddy's, Franbo, all this other stuff growing up. Like, I know about so many indie horror games that I watched so many creators play. I've watched so many gameplays of Puppet Combo games, and like Chilla's art, which is moderately less scary. But it's like all the iconic horror games you can think of, I've probably watched a gameplay of it. Unless it's like, I don't know, like super hyper realistic. Like, what the heck? Like Alien Isolation? I don't think I've watched that one. Oh, Bijou also likes Rambo? I love Rambo. Honestly, I was thinking of doing a video series about Rambo, because I wanted Ivan to play it, but then Ivan doesn't like gore, and Franbo is quite gory, for anyone who knows. Even though it's just like, it's like artistic, it's like drawn, it's not real, but at this, it still looks like pretty disturbing, and there's disturbing things going on, so I'm like, you know, I was like, I don't think this game is for you, Ivan, and he was like, yeah. But I would be so down to play it again, because, I mean, bro, that was my childhood. I specifically dislike child gore. Yeah, well, there's some of that in there, so yeah. But we've already gone over that. Ivan's not playing it, but I would like to play it, so I might do a video series on it. Anyway, I need to shut up and keep reading. VOD watchers are like probably like, oh my god, shut up. I don't even, you know, I used to think that like, oh my god, there's no way anyone's watching my VODs. Like, there's literally no way. But like after I do my live streams, that view count goes up still, and I'm like, who the hell is watching my VODs? Because it's not me. So puts my hands up. Anyway, to the little fish, the cat's sharp claws might, oh my god, throws up. To the little fish, the cat's sharp claws might as well have been made of steel. Liu continued to struggle. Ow, don't press on my head. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. As a fish that dared make such a scene in front of a cat, it was a wonder he hadn't been swallowed already. Mine too, I'm like, who's my VOD team? Yeah, me too. I'm just like, guys? What are you doing here? Anyway. Was his illustrious life really about to come to an end in a cat's mouth? Under the cat's paw, Liu's body hurt all over. He went limp from the pain, but unwilling to accept his fate, the tip of his tail still trembled. It was then that he saw a pair of pitch-black, cloud-patterned boots slowly approaching. When the white cat caught him the second time, the youth in the luxurious robes noticed the commotion too. Liu wasn't sure if he was imagining things now that his death was imminent, but he thought the young man had glanced over in his direction, just briefly. But how is that possible? Neither Galgungong nor Xiaolinze deigned to spare him an extra glance. Just the briefest look at his opulent robes was enough for Liu to see that this youth was someone of status. Was it really possible someone like that would notice a little fish like him? Salute to VOD watchers. Yeah. Liu's reserves of energy were almost depleted, and he could hardly lift his tail anymore. He laid there quietly, channeling the last of his strength into just taking breath after a difficult breath. Fish couldn't stay out of water for too long, nor could they bear being bitten or clawed at by a cat. Poor Liu had managed to check both boxes. Oh my god, if I slur my words one more time. I just like manually picked up my eyebrows, by the way, out of anger. That's why my model looked weird. Oh my god. I'm so normal. I'm the best reader ever, guys. You better agree with me. Okay. With a swish of his robes, the youth crouched down. Liu watched his handsome face grow larger and larger as it grew closer and closer. This face was handsome in the extreme, but as cold and beautiful as icy frost. The hair at his temples was so neatly arranged that it could have been cut by a knife, and he had eyes like cold stars, skin as pale as jade, red lips, and snowy white teeth. If Song Yu or Pan An were still alive, he probably could have given them a run for their money. Which are two of the four most handsome men of ancient China. Fun fact! Wow! Anyway. Liu's vocabulary was quite limited when it came... Did I say ancient China or ancient Japan? I said China, right? Guys? I'm gonna shart my pants. Oh. They call me a fish because my memory is fried. You said China, okay. Liu's vocabulary was quite limited when it came to compliments, so his brain very quickly ran out of words. Back when he was still human, he had been very confident in his own appearance and thought he was rather good-looking. Did the heavens know he was close to death and deliberately arranged for him to meet a more beautiful, ethereal man just so he could die with jealousy in his heart? Whether you were a fish or a person, being so close to death really brought out your honesty. Okay, fine. It was true. He was a little jealous. Experiencing the phenomenon known as terminal lucidity, Liu's brain started to spiral into nonsense. Next to his ear, the large white cat meowed extremely unhappily, and all of a sudden, the pressure on his body disappeared, and the sharp claws that had held him. I'm ending the stream. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Okay. What the heck? Where did I leave off? And all of a sudden, the pressure on his body had disappeared, and the sharp claws that had held him down so tightly were gone. Liu couldn't believe his luck. He tried moving his fish body. The pain was still intense, but he could really move. Wait, what? Guys, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. AliExpress is giving me messages. What's happening? I didn't buy anything from there. How dare the Danmei read so confusingly. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I can't. I'm gonna reread that because I'm gonna throw up. Liu couldn't believe his luck. He tried moving his fish body. The pain was still intense, but he really could move. What happened? Why would the white cat let him go for no reason? Liu looked up slightly and saw the cat rising up into the air. The youth in the opulent robes had picked it up roughly by the scruff of its neck. By the way, don't do that to adult cats if, like, unless they're, like, getting into shit. Like, unless you're, like, you need to grab them. Then, yeah, grab them by the scruff. But, like, don't do that to adult cats. Like, I think it's, like, mildly harmful if it's done very often. For kittens, though, yeah, I mean, that's fine, because their mamas do that. But don't do it to adult cats, because their bodies weigh a lot more than kitties do, so it's gonna, like... Anyway. Anyway. Enough animal safety PSAs. The youth in the opulent robes had picked it up roughly by the scruff of its neck. Although this was a rather burly cat, it was obviously an expensive breed. With its pure white snow fur... Wait, what the fart? With its pure snow white fur and eyes like clear blue sapphires. Oh my gosh, guys, did you guys know that cats who have white fur are more likely to be deaf? Forbidden kitty scruff. Anyway. Most people would at least pity this soft white fluff ball and treat it tenderly, even if they didn't care for the noble consort. But this youth's expression was indifferent, with absolutely no regard for the cat at all. Liu didn't understand what was happening, but what was most important here was that there was a sliver of hope for his life as a fish. Thank the heavens, and thank this beautiful man! Having been dragged away from both the fish and the floor by force, the cat let out a furious, shrill yowl, its claws slashing wildly in the air. Perhaps this would have been enough to intimidate anyone else, but the tall young man was unimpressed. Can a person be picked up? Ew, that would hurt, man. That's like the back of your neck, dude. I don't think you want that. Oh my god. Ivan's texting me. I'm sorry, Ivan. I'm putting you on Do Not Disturb. I'm locked in! Unless it's like really urgent, then I guess just let me know to check my messages in chat. That sounds painful. Yeah, it sounds really painful. I don't think you would like that at all. I mean, maybe it would hurt less if you were a little cat, but... yeah, no. Anyway. And also, there's not enough skin there. Like, whatever. Anyway. So. Xiaolinze, who had belatedly rushed to the scene, immediately fell to his knees upon witnessing all this. Liu couldn't help feeling shocked through his haze of pain. What was Xiaolinze doing? There was no way he was kneeling because he wanted to save an ingredient, right? Don't make assumptions about what I'd like. If you want the skin of your neck torn off, be my guest. Because I think your body is much heavier than the skin there can support its weight. I do not think that would end very well. But anyway. Reality soon proved him wrong. Xiaolinze was kneeling before the finely dressed youth. Kowtowing, he stumbled over his words. Prince Jing, this is the noble consort's precious master cat. Please have mercy. Liu was stunned. This youth was a prince? Prince Jing? Hearing noble consort or Gonggong had been one thing, but why did Prince Jing sound so familiar? But the thought only crossed his mind for a second. Liu had more important things to worry about. His fish life was still in danger. Yippee. Oh wow. Alright, enough of that. The extravagantly dressed youth, Prince Jing, scoffed. His dark eyes swept across Xiaolinze, but he made no move to release the cat. The white cat had been yowling vigorously, but it seemed to have exhausted itself, its cries getting quieter and quieter. Prince Jing, exuding a commanding air, ignored it. Xiaolinze remained kneeling on the ground, more and more sweat collecting on his forehead. Liu was still laying on the ground. He was extremely grateful that this Prince Jing had saved him from the large white feline bully, but how could someone pay attention to him could someone pay Ah! I need to end the stream. I need to end it right now. First reading stream's going great, guys. I'm losing it. Anyway. But could someone pay attention to him and put him back in the water? He was about to turn into a dead fish. What to do? Liu wearily curled his tail, but no one could hear his thoughts. Your Highness, wait for this old servant, I'm coming. Another unfamiliar figure came running from the distance, hollering and yelling. It was an older eunuch. Is that how you say that word? I don't know, I think so. He came to a stop between Prince Jing and Xiaolinze, then took a huge gulp of air. This was Prince Jing's personal servant. Guys, I'm gonna do a backflip. If I mess up one more word, I'm gonna do a backflip. It's okay. It's okay. Peace and love. Peace and love. Let us be calm. Let us be calm. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. This was Prince Jing's personal servant, Wang Xi. Wang Xi Gonggong, you're here! Xiaolin's eyes brightened, thinking his savior had arrived. He hurried to bow as he said, Please help me ask Prince Jing for forgiveness. Forgiveness? Wang Xi had finally caught his breath. He glanced carefully at Prince Jing's expression before shooting a fierce glance at Xiaolin's. This cat was the one who jumped at His Highness. Are you saying His Highness can't punish it? Peace and love, yeah. Xiaolin's felt the world spin. He whimpered, That's the noble consort's prized master cat. Wang Xi had already recognized the white cat, but as soon as Xiaolin's brought it up, his rage shot through the roof. It's just a cat! How dare it try to act like a master in front of His Highness? He spat. Oh, Wang Gonggong. Xiaolin's had a sinking feeling he had misspoken and hurriedly slapped a hand over his mouth. While the noble consort's cat was essentially half a master compared to servants like him, it was nothing in front of descendants of the dragon. Basically, the Emperor's sons. We probably already knew that, though. Indignant with fury, Wang Xi spat on Xiaolin's and cursed him out. Xiaolin's trembled all over, head lowered, and was even more afraid to speak than before. After he was done with his tirade, Wang Xi turned back to look at Prince Jing. The prince's icy eyes moved slightly, and Wang Xi immediately understood. Holding his hands up daintily, he turned around and loudly yelled, This cat has offended His Highness, and His Highness is disciplining a little. Is disciplining it a little. Why are you getting so worked up? Guys, if I ever mess up, no I don't. Okay? I never mess up, ever. Since the cat in Prince Jing's hand had failed in its attempts to intimidate him, its temper had more or less subsided. It seemed to realize it had hit a brick wall and settled on sticking out its pink tongue and mewling pitifully. Most people's hearts would have softened at this point. Yeah, mine definitely would have. I love cats. I have such a soft spot for cats. I think they're the cutest ever. Could you argue that my brain chemistry has been altered by the cat's poison? Yes. But you know what? I don't care. Anyway. But Prince Jing was not most people. He waited until the white cat stopped meowing and demurely lowered its head. What? He waited until the white cat stopped meowing and demurely lowered its head, and then casually tossed it at Xiaolin's. Is the cat demurely lowering its head, or is he demurely lowering his head? I'm confused. Guys, I don't know. Sometimes English translations have, like, word errors. I'm not even gonna lie to you, so... Like, even the official ones. I don't know why. It's like, you have proofreaders on your team for a reason. I don't know. I don't know if this is a misinput or I'm just, like, really struggling to understand what this sentence is supposed to mean. I don't know. Guys, would you be mad if I told you my throat's already hurting? We're not stopping here. I refuse it. I refuse it, but I'm just letting you guys know. I'm throwing up a little bit. It says it. Yeah, so I assume the cat, but it's like there is no comma. That was like the biggest sentence ever. Anyway. Cats didn't fear heights. It soared from Prince Jing's hands and eagerly threw itself into Xiaolin's arms. Xiaolin's barely had any meat on his bones, and he nearly coughed up blood when the cat collided with his chest. Chubby kitty. Wang Xi coughed lightly. His Highness is evidently in a good mood today, as he only reprimanded it a little. You'd better keep an eye on it, though. Should there be a next time? I have lived to this age, and I have never seen anyone dare to anger His Highness twice. This servant understands. Xiaolin's kowtowed several times in a row. Prince Jing waved a hand carelessly. Wang Xi spat at Xiaolin's again and followed behind the prince. Wait, they were going to leave? Just like that? Liu had waited so eagerly for so long, but this Prince Jing, who had saved him and even spared him an extra glance, didn't seem to have any intention of helping him further. Escaping from the jaws of the cat had already taken everything Liu had. Since no one could understand him, all he could do was muster up the last of his strength to curl his tail. His fishtail struck the floor lightly, once, twice. His plea for help was so weak and pitiful, it was practically inaudible. It was enough to make anyone lose hope. But each time Liu wanted to give up, he pushed himself to keep going. Perhaps if he persevered, there would be a miracle. There wasn't. He kept swishing his tail until he couldn't lift it anymore. The boots that had once saved him didn't stop for him again. Liu gradually lost consciousness, his tail falling still. The air settled around him. Prince Jing was already several meters away when he suddenly paused and turned around. A hint of confusion flashed across his... Huh? I'm so good at reading. I'm so good at reading. A hint of confusion flashed across his cold eyes. Your Highness? What's wrong? Wang Xi also looked around, perplexed. Xiaolin had already run off with the white cat. There was no one else there. There was no one else here. I'm okay. Brow furrowed, Prince Jing made a shushing motion and walked back. Wang Xi following a few steps behind. The prince's attention was focused on the ground below his feet. He seemed to be looking for something. He soon arrived back at the spot where he had stopped before. Suddenly, he paused and crouched down. Your Highness, please don't trouble yourself. What do you need? Let this servant do it instead. Wang Xi clamored to stop Prince Jing, but the prince took no notice. Oh! That's why it's weird. Sorry, I just realized that they used like his title. I'm pretty sure the title is Wang for prince, I think. I don't know. So they would call him Wang Jing when saying his title of prince. So I was reading like Prince Jing and I was like, something feels missing when it comes to his name. I was like, oh, it's not missing. They just translated the prince part into English. Professional linguists wish they could read as good as Kize. Listen, man, I'm trying my best. I promise I can read. Okay. Wang Xi clamored to stop Prince Jing, but the prince took no notice. He stubbornly pulled Wang Xi aside and picked something up from the ground with his own hands. A palm-sized fish, to be exact. A fish that had been clamped between the jaws of a cat and was now covered with wounds. Your Highness, this... Wang Xi trailed off uncertainly. Isn't this a very ordinary carp? Why did your Highness come back for this fish? This is the first time he'd ever been unsure he could understand his Highness. Prince Jing hesitated for a moment. He reached out and touched the limp fishtail with his finger. The tail flopped against the floor, lightly, weakly. Prince Jing's expression darkened, but the way he held the fish was exceedingly gentle. Your Highness, please let me. Wang Xi spread his arms. Prince Jing shook his head, holding the fish himself, and headed straight for the nearest garden. A dazed and uncomfortable Liu felt a long-awaited warmth. He could have sworn it was blankets and a pillow. Sob, sob, sob. Life as a fish was much too hard. But if he was going to die and turn back into a human, perhaps all this suffering would be worth it. Liu was already celebrating on the inside when he heard the sound of the system. Congratulations, user. The first part of the Mullet Pet System main quest, Tyrant's Priceless Pet Fish, First Meeting with the Tyrant, has been completed. That's chapter 2, we finished it. Yay! Yay! I'm gonna have a ginger chew break for my own health and safety. I think I'm gonna try and read this next chapter, and if my throat still hurts by the end, we might have to stop there. Because I don't want to lose my voice, because I do have a collab stream on Friday. Just a little twirl. So how has your day been, chat? Don't strain. Yeah, I'm trying not to. That's why I'm having a ginger chew. What do you mean? There are only 3 chapters total. Yeah, guys, we finished the book. Yay. Are you gonna stream your... No. Who said anything about that? I'm just gonna be on your channel, silly. Just a little twirl. Aww. I had painting today. It was terrible. What did you paint? What the heck? If you guys see me like moving like this, it's because I keep moving my chair. Like my chair's a swivel chair. So. Silly. I do a little dance. I do a little jig. I had to paint a still life that isn't even for my homework. What the freak? I didn't finish. What the? Why did you have to do it, man, if it wasn't for homework? Was it classwork, or like did you not finish it in class or something? I don't know. I forget that like art students are a thing. Like you go to school and like as an artist, which is funny and kind of insane saying, I really forget that art students are a thing. It was practice. Oh my god. I feel like you can shove your practice up this paint tube, bro. I'm not doing all that. It's like not the... Can I just say something? Why do men walk around like they're giants? Like, literally stepping around the house like, fee, fi, fo, fum. Like, what? That's not necessary. That's not necessary. Your BFF is an art student. I know. I just forget that you go to school for art, low-key sometimes. Because you don't often talk about the art aspect. You're like, yeah, I'm just at school. And I'm like, alright, he's just at school. But yeah, guys. Ivan did say that he might buy me Water Park Simulator, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys, like straight up transparent. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna make it funny. It's not really gonna be funny, but hold on. I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. I literally just want to play the game because I saw Queso play it on live and it looks so fun. Like, it looks so fun. Like, I want to run a water park. You are buying it? Yeah! I don't know, I get so nervous about people buying me things. But I also get really excited because I'm like, yay! New trinkets! But yeah. I'm so excited to play it, and I'm definitely going to be playing it on stream. But yeah, for anyone being like, oh my god, he's copying hit Twitch streamer Queso. No, I'm not. I promise. I just saw him play and I was like, oh my god, this looks so fun. I want to run a water park like the Navy too. So, hard eyes. Technically for us, bless Steam family. Yeah, if you can ever get me off the game. I mean, I'm telling you, I honestly, if you buy it for me, I will play that game on stream as soon as possible because I'm that excited at the idea of playing it. Like, it looks like it's right up my alley. Kiza yearns for trinkets. I do yearn for trinkets. I have so many trinkets in my room. I love trinkets. Proud trinket collector. I'm gonna tonight after work. Yay! Yahoo! Thinking about it then, I don't like doing streams on weekends. So maybe Tuesday? Maybe Tuesday we will have a water park simulator stream. But I really like streaming on Fridays, but this stream was me experimenting streaming on a day that isn't Friday. And honestly, it has not gone bad. So, methinks me will experiment again on Tuesday. Yay! Oh my gosh! Guess where I'm going this Saturday? I'm gonna go to Hot Pot. I'm gonna go to Hot Pot with my friends. Yes! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I love Hot Pot. I'm so excited. Please stream during the week. Steals the weekend from you. I mean, yeah. Because I usually stream during the weeks because my house happens to be louder on weekends because everyone's home. So I usually stream on weekdays. Anyway. But yeah, I already had... Take me with you. I already had plans like lined up for the weekend, so I was like, nah, I can't play the game on the weekend. And I'm supposed to be doing stuff on Monday, so Tuesday it is. Oh my god, guys, I'm so excited for Hot Pot. I'm literally kicking my feet. Ow! I've been wanting Hot Pot for so long. I'm so excited. And dude, they give you free ice cream after Hot Pot. That's my favorite part. I'm so excited, dude. Yes. I love Hot Pot. And it's also, I'm the one that's gonna be buying everything. So, I feel like I get to make a little extra special, you know, selections. Because I'm the one paying. Teehee. Does a little twirl. But obviously I'll order things that my friends want to. I'm just considerate like that, you know? But yeah. I'm the brokest person ever, but I do have cash. So I need someone to buy Hot Pot for me. Hot Pot is so good. I'm so excited. It's gonna be really awkward though. I mean, it's not gonna be awkward, but I'm like kind of nervous because I'm like kind of merging friends groups a little bit, and I'm like, oh no, because there's like never a guarantee that that goes well. I'm hoping it goes well. I don't think it will go bad, but because those two groups are very easygoing, so I doubt literally anything is gonna happen. But it's just kind of awkward every time you merge friends that you usually don't hang out with at the same time. It's like, oh, that's weird. But they do already know each other, so I'm not like worried about it. But I'm very excited. I love Hot Pot, guys. I love Hot Pot. We're literally only going because I wanted to go. I was like, dude, I want to get Hot Pot so bad. So silly, so silly. I'm still not done eating my ginger chew, by the way. So you guys are like, oh my god, why is this break so long? I'm still eating it. Sorry. I might eat a little snack after stream. I already had, I don't think you can call it dinner because I literally ate it at 4 p.m. Like, that's not dinner. But I already had, like, food, like real food, so I'm like gonna get a snack, and then if I'm still hungry later, I might get like something more, you know? But I don't want to eat too heavy because it's already getting late, you know what I'm saying? So, does a little twirl. Oh my god, has everyone noticed my shirt, by the way? since we're reading the fish yaoi, I figured I might as well have fish yaoi on my shirt too, so. I really like getting to use my toggles. I think it's really funny. Like, I don't get to use them very often because, I don't know, I just don't really think they're super relevant to what we're doing sometimes. And I only have like my eye toggle, my hair toggle, and my shading toggle, and then my 2 shirt toggles. That's literally all I have. But trust and believe, I am happy with that amount of toggles because I tend to forget that I have toggles. I'm gonna be real. So I'm not a VTuber that's gonna aspire to have like a million toggles when I get like, if I get a different model, you know. This one's so super cute. I'm super happy with this one. But Ivan's been like, I want to make you a bust model, and I was like, okay, like I'll never turn down a free model. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, I'm not really a toggle guy because I will absolutely forget that I have them. It's like, if I have any toggles, I feel like I'd want them to be something that adds or removes from my character and not like an expression. I'm like especially against, like, not against, like it's like against my morals, but like using personally for myself, expression toggles, because I will forget to use them in the moments that I need to. And then I will forget to turn them off after the moment has passed. So, expression toggles are just not for me. But yeah, I'm so excited. Oh my god, guys, you know what I'm also really excited for? I'm excited for Ivan's bust up model debut. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. His bust up model looks so cute. And I'm so excited to see it moving. You will get a cry toggle so you can guilt trip. I 100% I'm gonna discourage that because I will forget to use it. But you can give it to me, but I will forget. Hey, not about me. I'm making this about you. I'm really excited. I'm so excited to see you all big and cutiful and silly. Like, guys, he's gonna be real. He's gonna be real. I mean, he's already real as a PNG. But like, he's gonna be real. He's gonna be moving. It's gonna be so cute. Sniffle, hopefully October. Yeah, hopefully. Does a little twirl. But like, obviously don't rush it, you know what I'm saying? Like, still want it to look really good. I mean, it already looks good, but you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, should I get an ice cream today, guys? I've been periodically stealing ice creams from the freezer that aren't mine, I don't think. At least I don't think I was made to be, I don't think I was given permission to eat them. And I don't think they were bought for me. But I have been stealing them every day. And they're kind of dwindling to an obvious amount, but I'm like, ooh, I kind of want another one today. Because like, I kind of had a rough start to my day, honestly. So I'm like, I feel like I deserve it. And also like, the stream, like just reading, has me like sharding my pants. So I'm like, you know what, I think I deserve a little bit of ice cream. I think I deserve a little treat. But yeah, should I steal more ice cream even though it's not mine? Should I? I really want some. I mean, nobody's confronted me about it yet, so honestly, I've just been considering it free game. Scratches my head. Yes. By the way, I'm like, I don't live with roommates. I live with family. Like, if this was roommates, I would never steal from something that isn't mine. But my family, hey, my mom always be telling me what's ours is yours, and I'm like, that includes ice cream. Family is fair game, yeah. This little twirl. Okay, guys. I take anything that's in the fridge. Oh my god. The only thing I don't take are things that I know that aren't for the family, that were bought like individually. Now they know we aren't roommates yet. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that I still live with my family. I don't really know though. But yeah, not yet, but soon. But yeah, I usually stay away from things that I know like are not meant for me, like very specifically. But if it's something that I'm like, probably it's like generally for the family, like bread, like or like juice, or like stuff that isn't just like an individual thing, then I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. But I don't know, if it's just like something really specific, like protein shakes, then I'm like, no, I don't want that. But also, I don't like protein shakes. Guys, I need to stop talking because I need to start reading, because I'm already straining my voice before I even started reading. But I need to have a rant about how much I hate the taste of protein. Like, specifically like the whey protein, I hate the taste of it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I'm like, I'd rather get my protein in any other way without eating whey protein. It tastes so bad. I don't know what it is. It has such a weird aftertaste. Maybe I just have like the cilantro gene before whey protein because it tastes so ass. I can always taste it whenever it's in something protein flavored. I hate it. Or it could just 2 chapters of chatting. No. I want to read. But seriously, I'll read this last chapter and then this will be the last one. So then, after we read chapter 3, it's just gonna be either just chatting or end stream, which it will most likely be end stream because go to sleep. Oh my god, guys, today, sorry, I know I said I would start, but I feel like this is really necessary to say. We have a cat. We have a black cat. Her name is Chonga, and she has this habit of laying like she's dead. I don't know how else to describe it other than like when she lays down, she looks like roadkill. It's really hilarious. But she was laying like that on the couch, and I was with my mom, and I was mentioning it to her, and I was like, dude, why does she lay down like that? My mom was like, I don't know, it's scary. And I was like, she lays like a human. It makes me want to put a blanket over her. And so I looked over and I saw a blanket on like a part of the couch. So I grabbed it and I was like, wait, look. And my mom was like, oh, she's gonna get up and move when you do that. And I was like, yeah, she will. Because Chonga's a skittish cat. But we were like, I still want to do it. So I like carefully snuck up on her and I put the blanket over her like I was tucking her in like a baby, and I was like, go to sleep, go to sleep. And she looked so confused. I do not think Chonga was a big fan of the blanket. She did indeed move, but it was hilarious. Anyway, we're reading for real now. Okay, we're on chapter 3, Priceless Pet Fish. For a moment, Liu thought he was imagining things, but some time had passed, and it didn't seem like he was turning back into a human. Not only did he not change, some random system had popped up. It seemed to be called Moe Pet System? No sooner than he'd thought that, 2 rows of large golden words appeared before his eyes. The system that had spoken up moments ago chimed in again, without his prompting. User, please select main quest or side quest. Liu blinked. It seemed he had accidentally entered a system. The system called him User, so this was his personal golden finger, a cheat code for his transmigration. At least this meant his transformation into a fish hadn't been for nothing. Although he was still a fish and hadn't transformed back into a human, as long as he had this golden finger, perhaps he could find a way to get back to normal if he followed the system's instructions? The previous prompts had said that he had completed the first step of the main quest. Out of habit, Liu tried to tap the words main quest as he would on a touchscreen. Oh my god, I'm shorting my pants. But what was genuine? Oh my god, I'm farting. But what was a genuine routine action for a human was quite a challenging one. Oh my god, I'm gonna throw up. Guys? Peace and love. Peace and love. Okay. Out of habit, Liu tried to tap the words main quest as he would on a touchscreen, but what was a routine action for a human was quite a challenge for a fish. His fins were too short to reach. He flapped his fins rather desperately, thinking, if only he could tap it. When suddenly, the main quest flashed of its own accord, expanding into several lines of text. Got it. I don't need to touch anything with this system. I can control it using my thoughts. All the text under the main quest was dark, except for the very top line, which was lit up. Each line probably corresponded to a different main quest. With the desperate desire to turn back into a human thrumming through his veins, Liu skimmed through each main quest. They were all about fish. There was nothing about humans. Other than Tyrant's priceless pet fish, which he had seen already, there was also Tyrant's pet fish for revitalizing the family, postpartum care for fish, etc. It got more and more ridiculous as he read on. But the only one he could access was the topmost one, which glowed, Tyrant's priceless pet fish. Liu had no other choice but to tap on it, albeit reluctantly. The progress bar and description for Tyrant's priceless pet fish immediately popped up. First, he looked through the description. It was super simple. All he needed to do was become the Tyrant's beloved pet fish. Although it was a little clickbaity, at least it matched the name of the system, Moa Pet System. Wait, wasn't he forgetting something? This Tyrant kept coming up, but he still had no idea who that was supposed to be. The system seemed to sense his confusion, and a transparent window popped out, surrounded by swirling rose petals. The window displayed Prince Jing's frustratingly handsome face. The Tyrant was Prince Jing. Liu cracked a smile. So he completed So he'd completed first meeting with the Tyrant when he encountered Prince Jing? Sure, this Prince Jing looked pretty cold and didn't speak much, but why did the system have to call him a tyrant? The system had no response this time. Prince Jing's handsome face remained unchanged in the pop-up. Did this mean he had to continue tapping? After some pondering, he poked Prince Jing's face with his tail. The system popped up with another prompt. The fluttering rose petals automatically reconfigured into a blurb about Prince Jing. He was the fifth son of the Emperor of Great Chu, Mu Tianqi, and was born with a speech impediment. He couldn't talk. Prince Jing was Mu Tianqi? Liu felt like he had been struck by lightning. No wonder Prince Jing's name seemed so familiar. No wonder Prince Jing was way too quiet compared to Wang Xi or Xiaolinzi. Liu had been so preoccupied with running for his life that he didn't realize it at the time, but now he finally knew which book he had fallen into. He knew the name Mu Tianqi very well indeed. He was the male lead from a web novel Liu had stayed up all night to read when he was bored, The Tyrant and His Delicate Concubine. Mu Tianqi was a cold, ruthless tyrant who wouldn't hesitate to slaughter someone's entire family if he was displeased, but because he was mute, he still inspired a little pity. Liu had transmigrated into a novel with a system. Well, can't do that anymore in China because of woke. If you know, you know. Never mind that this was a book about a tyrant. Why did he transmigrate into a fish? Let's not worry about tyrants for now. Why did he get paired up with the Moa Pet System, and why were all his quests about fish? The system cut in with a voice message, speaking slowly. You've already transmigrated, so you might as well accept your fate. The purpose of your existence is to help improve the tyrannical male lead's personality. Apparently, having a pet can help cultivate one's tender, caring side. Liu was dumbfounded. He knew the system had ulterior motives. He didn't want to do these weird tasks at all. Was the system going to force him to do them even if he didn't want to? The system answered immediately. The Moe Pet system will not force its user, but if the user does not complete the quest, then you will never turn back into a human. What? I can't go back even if I die? You can't. The system's voice held a note of finality. Failing to regain human form means retaining the lifespan of a fish. In the end, a fish will turn into fish bones and fish ash. What if I choose not to do these tasks at all? Asked Liu. You will turn into fish bones and fish ash. Immediately. Liu wanted to curse. Wasn't this the definition of forcing him? The system piped up again to emphasize. The Moe Pet system will not force its user. Can you please not repeat yourself? Liu didn't want to turn into fish bones or fish ash, but he had no interest in turning the tyrant's personality around either. All he wanted to know was how he could become human again. The system spoke. Once the main quest has progressed to a certain point, one of the steps will involve becoming human again. That's more like it. Okay, it's just a main quest. Fine, I'll do it. He was acting nonchalant, but Liu was hyper-aware that he could not risk playing around with his own life. The Moe Pet system had one thing right. He had already transmigrated. He'd already seen for himself that the system was his golden finger and could appear in his consciousness, so he had to believe it. Now that he'd resolved to do the quest, Liu started to calm down. He took a good look at his current quest, Priceless Pet Fish. There were a number of steps to this quest. The first step, first meeting with the tyrant, was already completed. The second step, interact with the tyrant, was glowing. There was nothing else beyond that. It looked like he'd have to complete step 2 before he unlocked any more instructions for the next step. What a stingy system. It couldn't even be bothered to give him a more detailed prompt. Interact with the tyrant? Interact how? Liu was a little frustrated. What connection did the two of them even have? Prince Jing was a prince, Liu was merely a fish from the imperial kitchen. Did he have to turn himself into fish soup or a braised fish so that Prince Jing could eat him? The system chimed in. Use your brain. Think harder. What the fuck, system? Why did it feel like it was taunting him? Liu couldn't figure out anything from the main quest. Oh my god. Liu couldn't figure anything out from the main quest. Then an idea came to mind. He went to check on the side quests. Side quests were optional, and anyone who'd ever played a game knew that side quests usually weren't too hard and could come up with generous rewards. I just hiccuped again? Oh my god. The main quest was way too weird, but maybe Liu could pull some clues from the side quest. His investigation proved to be fruitless, however, when he found the side quests were all grayed out, meaning it wasn't time for them yet. For example, one of the side quests was turn into a koi. That one looked quite nice. If he had to be a fish for the time being, a koi fish would at least be better than the kind of carp that was a regular feature on the menu, right? Even an idiot knew koi fish were lucky. Why wasn't this task available? A message from Bijou to you in stream, Mr. Kize. Bijou says, tell him I love him. Oh my god. Hi, Bijou. Love you too. Okay. Side quests have prerequisites, the system informed him. You can only accept the quest once the prerequisites have been met. What prerequisites does the koi quest have? The system replied. Complete the main quest, Priceless Pet Fish. Fuck, I can't skip being a pet fish? That's right. Liu was clearly a man, but now he had to be another man's pet fish. And not just any man, a man with a bad temper who couldn't talk. Wasn't this way too hard? Did completing this quest even come with rewards? If the rewards weren't all that great, what was even the point? Liu asked, what kind of rewards do I get for completing Priceless Pet Fish? There will be rewards, right? Yes, the system said. You've already completed the first step, so the strength of your fishtail has increased. Please use it carefully. The reward for completing the second step is an inventory that you can take around with you. The rest of the rewards will be revealed as you continue to unlock new tasks. Liu's eyes lit up. He didn't know how useful a stronger tail would be, but an inventory would be great. He could put stuff in it. Being a fish was so inconvenient. He needed to get over his embarrassment fast so he could complete these tasks. While he was wrapped up in his thoughts, the system alerted him he was about to exit. Liu woke up. As he opened his fish eyes, he came to the realization that he was lying in a blue and white porcelain tank filled with water. So his conversation with the system had all happened inside his own head. There was no way to tell what had been going on from the outside. Back in reality, he had passed out from everything he'd gone through at the claws of the white cat, and from being out of the water for too long.
He'd already been unconscious for 2 hours. Pain crashed down on his body in waves. He had yet to fully recover from his cat-induced injuries. A little dazed, Liu looked around at his surroundings. Before he'd lost consciousness, he remembered thumping his tail on the ground until it nearly broke, yet no one had come to his rescue. Shouldn't he still be lying on floor tiles right now? How did this change of scenery happen? It didn't matter. He was injured, and he needed to rest, recover, and figure out where he was. He also had to find Prince Jing as soon as possible so he could complete this task. With that figured out, Liu set about carefully examining the world inside the tank. This blue and white porcelain tank was a massive upgrade from the dark fish basket he found himself in when he first transmigrated. It didn't have the oily, smoky smell of the Imperial kitchen, and it was bright and well ventilated, although the top of the tank was a bit on the tall side. When he looked up, he could only see a portion of the ceiling. Although the opening was small, he could see he was in a room with carved beams and painted rafters. This was clearly a place of wealth. The water in the tank was very clear. Aside from a few aquatic plants swaying gently in the ripples, he was the tank's only occupant. Snow-white stones lay beneath him. Liu observed the stones for a while. Each one was round, with any harsh edges smoothed away. When he lay on them, it felt rather comfortable. It made for a good place to heal from his injuries. Liu wanted to rip off a piece of the plant, but after several minutes of struggle, he knew he could forget about using his fins as hands to tear it off. He could barely even use them to grab hold of the plant. No matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't get it to work. He remembered what the system had said. It had boosted his tail's power. Perhaps he could try that? Liu swished his tail at the plant, not hoping for much. Ow! Ow, ow, ow! That simple action tore at his injury. Liu grimaced in pain, regretting his impulsiveness slightly. His tail didn't seem to have made any difference, but just as Liu was thinking that the system had a habit of lying to fish, a glossy green leaf drifted down gently and landed on top of his head. Liu glanced at his tail excitedly. He pulled the leaf down with his mouth and used it to cover up most of his body. Then he lay back down on his bed of white rocks. After all, the best way to heal from an injury was by lying down with a blanket. He'd rest some and recover his energy. Once he felt a little better, he'd look for Prince Jing. He slept for a while before he was woken by a soft creaking sound. It was the sound of a door opening, he realized. Someone had entered the room he was in. It must be the person who had saved him and put him in this tank. This tank contained water, plants, and even smooth stones. There was no way it wasn't supposed to be a fish tank. If someone had gone through the trouble of arranging all this, it must mean they wanted to keep him, not eat him. Who could this person be? The footsteps came closer, unhurried. With an unexpected feeling of anticipation, Liu raised his head a little and waited. Before long, a matchlessly handsome face appeared above the tank. Oh my god, wasn't that the target of his quest? Prince Jing? Mu Tianqi? Did that mean Prince Jing was the one who saved him? Liu was both surprised and delighted. This was too easy! To be honest, he still rejected the thought of being someone's pet fish, but now that he knew his savior was the target of his quest, he could suck it up. So, what exactly should a good pet fish do? Please his owner and make him happy, of course? Liu tossed his leaf-covered head about and eagerly blew a little bubble toward Prince Jing. I'm such a cute fish, please don't cut my head off.
And that's chapter 3. Oh. Alright guys. I think I might end it here. My voice, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I think the stream was really, really rough. I'm gonna be real. That was not my best reading performance, but you know what? I try my best, and that's all that matters, I guess. I hope everyone who tuned in enjoyed. I hope we're enjoying the fish yaoi so far. Like I said, I'll leave the stream up unless there's any issues. So, hopefully there isn't. You did very good, Kize. Thank you, Audrey. And yeah, next time we'll obviously be starting from chapter 4. But if any of you guys missed any of the chapters, you can go back in the VOD and go look for what you missed. Yippee! Bye guys. Thanks everyone for coming. Yippee! Yippee! I'm gonna go drink a bunch of water and not talk for the rest of the day. Bye bye! Guys, I didn't put up my ending stream. I don't know if the stream went offline and I just like put it back up. Or if it made a new one, but pretend like I put up my ending stream. Sorry. Oops! I tried to mute myself and it didn't work. I clicked the wrong thing. Don't look at me.